Hey, what's up? It's Fuel Your Life Friday. Let's go. Happy Valentine's Day, love. I have already expressed on Wednesday's episode that I'm just not that big on Valentine's Day and that the only thing I routinely do on this day is watch Sleepless in Seattle. But just because I'm not a big fan of the day does not mean I am not a fan of love. A few months ago, I began diving a little deeper into the 5 love languages. I'd heard about this book that was written by Dr. Gary Chapman a long time ago. I think he wrote it in 95. But I wasn't actually sure what the 5 love languages were and how they could help me or my relationship. So I listened to the audiobook and I took the free quiz just to find out my love languages. And since learning my love language order, I have actually begun to understand myself so much better, like just how I receive love and what that looks and feels like to me. The 5 love languages describe the way that we feel loved and appreciated, but depending on our individual personality types, we may feel loved differently than how our partners do. According to Dr. Chapman, there are 5 love languages: words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. Those who have words of affirmation as his or her love language, they like to receive compliments or praises that build them up. These don't have to be long notes of gratitude. It can just be something like, "That outfit is so flattering on you," or "I just love how kind you are." Now, if acts of service ranks high for you, this is actually number 1 for me, then you're more likely a actions speak louder than words type of person. This love language can be expressed through things you know your partner would like, such as cooking them a meal, helping out with laundry, or even just stopping what you're doing to help with a task. Acts of services generally require some thought, time, and of course, effort. Next is receiving gifts. Now, this is not about being materialistic. Instead, it's actually the thoughtfulness or meaningfulness of the gift itself, and that's what it takes to make you or your partner feel appreciated. This could be something as little as stopping on your way home from work to pick up your partner's favorite candy bar for them and surprising them with it when you get home. Doesn't have to be big, just has to be thoughtful. With quality time as the love language, it's all about undivided attention. No cell phones, no TVs, no distractions. This is just straight up quality time together and keeping the distractions at a minimum. So it's not sitting and watching HBO show together and you're like, "Oh, this is what we do together every Sunday night as we sit and we watch this hour-and-a-half long show in silence together." That's not quality time unless you're then discussing it and having conversations about the episode afterwards, okay? And lastly, physical touch. If that's your primary love language, that doesn't technically mean that you're big on public affection or you can't keep your hands to yourself. It simply means that you are more connected through physical contact and things such as holding hands, hugging, or kissing. But knowing your love language is so important, not just to know how we can better love our partners and show up for them, but to also know how we perceive and feel love. I took this all a step further and had my oldest daughter do the quiz. They have a kids version as well. And when I found out her answers, I was shocked. I mean, shooketh, y'all. She's not that type of touchy-feely kid, right? My youngest daughter wants to give you 1,000,010 kisses every day. She wants to hug you. She wants to touch you, always grab your hand. And my oldest daughter kind of leans away from that. So I was really shocked to learn that physical touch came in as the second highest love language for her. And since learning that, I've had to become more mindful to incorporate more hugs, more kisses on the forehead, or even just touch her arm when I'm giving her a compliment or something similar. In order, my love languages are acts of service, quality time, words of affirmation, receiving gifts, and last is physical touch. I encourage you to take the free quiz to learn your love language. And then, of course, if you're in a relationship, have your partner take it too. If your kids, I think you have to be over the age of 8 or 9 to do the kids version to be very effective. Have them do it as well. I've linked the official quiz in this week's episode notes found on mindbizlife.com. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend and be sure to give the podcast a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or wherever it is that you tune in and turn it up. That's all for today. I'll see you back here next week. And until then, remember, every level of life is an opportunity to grow. Be well, my friend.